Hello students of class 9, welcome to the video. I hope you all are acquainted with this new system of learning by this time. Today we will begin with the poem The Heart of the Tree. If you have your books with you, kindly turn to the page. The poem The Heart of the Tree. About the poet. Henry Cuyler Burner was an American novelist, journalist, and poet from New York who started his career as a clerk in importing house and ended up being one of the prominent novelists. He was born in the year 1855 and died on 1896. He had a short span of life but contributed substantially to literature. About the poem. The Heart of the Tree is a poem in 3 stanzas. The poet begins by asking a question: what does he plant who plants tree? He repeats the same question at the beginning of the following stanzas and proceeds to answer himself convincingly throughout the poem. The poem is about the beauty, benefits, and satisfaction of planting trees. The poet wants to make the readers aware of the privileges that the tree provides to mankind. He presents the heart, the essential part of the tree, and also the heart of the person who plants a tree. The poem, written over 100 years ago, is all the more relevant today as we face climate change and environmental degradation. The poet is describing what is it that is actually being planted when we plant a tree. The poet makes us aware that planting a tree is a symbolic act of goodness, one from which many other acts of goodness will sprout. Stanza 1. Let us read the poem. What does he plant who plants a tree? He plants a friend of sun and sky. He plants the flag of breezes free, the shaft of beauty towering high. He plants a home to heaven and I, for song and mother croon of bird. In hushed and happy twilight heard, the treble of heaven's harmony. These things he plants who plants a tree. Stanza 1 explanation. The poem opens with a rhetorical question to the readers, asking what is it that the person actually plants while planting a tree. The poet, in a series of beautiful images himself, provides the answer. He says that whosoever plants a tree does not merely plant a tree, but plants many other benefits for mankind. When somebody plants a tree, he plants one more friend to the sun and the sky. The tree here has been personified as a living entity. As the tree grows taller, the leafy branches are compared to a flag that creates opportunity for free breezes. Trees are epitome of beauty, and as they stand tall, they add streak of beauty to nature. This kind of beauty makes the world more heavenly, and therefore, he who plants a tree plants a home nearer to heaven, as trees provide a home for many birds to build their nests where the mother bird sings a lullaby in the silence of happy twilight. This song of the bird blends beautifully into a harmony of heaven, which the poet calls it the treble of heaven's harmony. Therefore, the one who plants a tree does not just plant a tree, but plants a friend, a safe home, creates atmosphere of peace, harmony, comfort, and also purifies air by trapping dust and smoke. Stanza number 2. What does he plant who plants a tree? He plants cool shade and tender rain, and seed and bud of days to be. And years that fade and flush again, he plants the glory of the plain. He plants the forest heritage, the harvest of a coming age, the joy that unborn eyes shall see. These things he plants who plants a tree. Explanation of the second stanza. In the second stanza, the poet repeats the question as to what actually a person does when he plants a tree. The poet himself answers his question. He says that the one who plants a tree plants cool shade and gentle rain for humans and for the soil. The planted trees provide cool shade in summer, and more trees invites rain, the lifeline of mankind. Trees provide seeds and buds which bloom and mature for planting more trees. Plants also provide seasonal cycle, and the poet mentions it by the years that fade and flush again. It means that a season goes to come back in a new form. The poet then says that trees are a glory of the plain, in the sense that plain land is made beautiful and scenic with the addition of trees. The poet says that as environment is a natural heritage, the person who plants a tree plants the forest heritage, which is a resource for the future. One tree will multiply into a forest in future, from which future generations will draw benefits like paper for their books, timber for their homes and ships, rain for the fields, fruit for their desert, and cool shade for their siesta. These are the legacy one who plants the tree provides for the next generation, for the children who are not yet born. Stanza 3. What does he plant who plants a tree? He plants in sap and leaf and wood, in love of home and loyalty, and far-cast thought of civic good. His blessings on the neighborhood, who in the hollow of his hand holds all the growth of all our land. A nation's growth from sea to sea stirs in his heart who plants a tree. Stanza 3 explanation. For the third time, the poet repeats the same question asked in the earlier two stanzas. The poet himself answers his question and says that the person who plants a tree does so primarily due to love and loyalty to one's home and society, his sense of civic duty, and a far-cast thought for the future. All the blessings that a tree brings, blessings of God on the neighborhood. He is given a God-like attribute as he takes care of the well-being of the people. He holds the key to a nation's growth in the hollow of his hand. The use of capitalization of H in the last stanza suggests that the person who plants a tree is God-like. The use of his blessings and our land is a relation suggesting God and thus contribute to the growth and development of his nation from sea to sea. The last two lines is very important as the poet ultimately answers his question. The poet talks about the man's heart, his feelings, dreams, and wishes behind planting a tree. He says that he is a destiny maker, as the key to development of this land lies in the heart of the person who plants trees. Planting a tree is like planting a new nation that will result in peace and harmony on earth. The poet has used certain poetic devices, which I have mentioned. Metaphor. The poet has used many metaphors in the poem, such as plant a friend of sun and sky, plants the flag of breezes free, plants the glory of the plain, plants the forest heritage, harvest of a coming age. Personification. The tree is treated as a friend with human qualities to the sun and the sky. He plants a friend of sun and sky. Imagery, visual imagery, flag of breezes free, a home to heaven and I, cool shade and tender rain. Auditory imagery, song and mother croon of bird, the treble of heaven's harmony. Definition of rhetorical question. It is a question for which the questioner does not expect a direct answer. It is a device used to persuade or influence the audience. It is a question asked not for the answer but for the effect. After you have gone through, here's an assignment given to you. With the help of your textbook as well as your workbook, solve the questions that are in your workbook. Thank you. God bless.